everyone, welcome back to The Artist's Life. I am here today with one of my great friends, Gabriel Ramierez. He is a trainee with the Orlando Ballet, and so excited to have you on here. We are also announcing the Life on Point sponsorship program, and I'm so excited to say that we are going to be sponsoring Gabriel to go to a ballet conservatory next year. So we're going to get into more of that, what his plans are for the future, what that looks like, and how you can help him. So I'm super excited about this. Thank you for letting me do this.
Yes, no
And let's get into it. So I met you in 2016.
Yes.
So we've known each other for about 2 years.
Right.
And you've been dancing for about that long.
About that long, yeah, since the summer of 2016.
Yeah. What was it? Did you go to that summer intensive? Was that what it was?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
Lava's coverage.
Yeah. So we used to dance, he used to dance with me at Los Angeles Ballet Academy, where I'm currently training now. And so I wanted to ask, how did you actually get into ballet?
Well, it was interesting because I always enjoyed dance as a young child, always hearing music and moving around, but I never thought I was never serious. Like, my mom tried to push ballet on me as a young boy, but I never took it. I never wanted to pursue it at all. It wasn't until like years later, when I was 15, and I watched White Nights with Baryshnikov and Gregory Hines,
Okay.
and I was so amazed by by Baryshnikov's dancing skill, that I felt, okay, I need to do this. This is what I want as a life.
Baryshnikov is a common factor in males wanting to start in ballet.
Yeah,
So
it's for us, it's no surprise. Baryshnikov's the main factor always. But, and then so there wasn't a whole lot around that was of a really high quality, a good nature, just to start out, really. And when I applied for Los Angeles Ballet Academy, and they asked, all right, come into class, and they saw me in class, and they were saying, oh, there could be something there. Mm-hmm. And so we'd like you to come for the summer and see how you do. And so that's how I began, really, that whole journey.
That's so cool. And we always get jealous of him because he's only been dancing for like a couple of years. But dance is in your blood. Your mom was a professional dancer, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was a professional dancer in ballet, and many times in her life she danced Latin dances, and just a whole variety of it. My dad is currently a Latin dance teacher and ballroom and partnering in general.
There you go. So it's in your blood. So that makes sense. So I also wanted to ask, I know a lot about what you were going through in that training process with, at Los Angeles Ballet Academy, but what was the transition from being at a part-time school? I like to think of them as, stepping stones to professional level schools. So what was that like, transitioning from, being in class every day, to being in class and rehearsals every day?
Right. Well, if I look at it from my time at LABA to my time at Orlando, there's an obvious difference. But I had a nice transitional period. I was at the American Ballet Theater summer intensive in New York that summer, and it was very intense training. And we did have rehearsals daily. Mm-hmm. And so in a way, it conditioned my body to accept things like that. Mm. But even before then, I had always practiced, day and night. Yeah. And I, worked very hard. I worked my body very hard, completely just to achieve something that I do. I would say that most of what I learned, most of my abilities came from simply watching videos and practicing. So, but yes, it was it was hard transition in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely sore day and night, but now it's sort of become a norm.
Yeah.
Day for
Just
me.
being sore every day.
Sure.
Yeah, what was that like emotionally too? Because that was your first time away from home. Without your family.
For the first couple weeks, I was battered emotionally. I was crying every day. I was always missing my family. I stopped when I reminded myself that, when I came to realize that I never felt these emotions when I was dancing, when I was in class, and I assumed that would be the way to sort of stop me from feeling the things that I felt, and it felt good to show that I was working so hard, but it was hard making friends initially because I saw myself as completely different, but I ended up having a really great relationship with my roommate, and I've made a home out of it, and I feel very comfortable being there. But it definitely took a little while getting used to it, but I'm lucky that there are people around me who are always trying to include me and make me feel a part of the world there.
Yeah, that's so great. What are some of have you run into professional dancers or anything like that?
Yes. Well, as an Orlando Valley trainee, you see the company dancers every day. They aren't big names in dance, I would say, but they're definitely very talented people. Uprising, I would say. Very young, a lot of potential to be stars, even, some of them. And then, of course, sometimes people guessed. I haven't encountered any, but there have been some very big names in the dance world, like Joseph Gatti and Taras Dumitro, who've made appearances as a guest artist, and many others, really.
Nice. So I saw the video on Instagram that your mom posted. You did the Grand Pas de Deux from Nutcracker.
Yeah.
How did that go?
I had some difficulties with my partner initially, but we tried to work it out, and mostly I've learned a lot and definitely got so much stronger from it, and so much more experience. And I had the privilege of being taught and coached by Philip Broomhead, who's an incredible teacher and such a wonderful mentor to have. And there were some issues with the staging, and we practiced We practiced in a studio that was at least 5 times larger than the stage they gave us. Oh, fun! And
it's always nice.
And so we're tripping around and wondering, I think we have a little more space, and we were absolutely not on the same page with that. We were all maybe there's a little bit more. No, there isn't.
Yeah.
There it is. But I think overall it went well.
Yeah.
Definitely not as good as it could have been, but
I feel like that's kind of how it always is it could have been better. I know I just recently performed at for my Christmas service, right. And it was nice overall, but there was the floor was super slippery, so one of the first steps I slipped and almost fell over. But I think too when it's a part pas de deux, how has that been for you? Because the only pas de deux training you've really gotten was from LABA when it was hit or miss,
right?
Which it still is,
The whole pas de deux process is almost always a hit or miss. It's literally a step for two. You know, if your partner is not on the same page with you, regardless of size, shape, technique, it will just not go well. Yeah. And that was the case. That was sort of the case here.
Yeah.
I discovered this even more when I watched my roommate dance with his partner. And he wasn't necessarily doing all the lifts and all that, but they had this real energy and connection together. And they looked happy in general. My partner...
It looked like a happy couple.
Yeah, it was not the same, but it was great to watch them, and I definitely learned a lot and gained a lot more experience.
So yeah, I mean, I totally get what you're saying because we've partnered before, and we've had our struggles. in partnering, where it's like,
if I can be honest, it's partially my weaknesses at the time.
I think at the time too, like especially both of us were very strong personalities, and so even though we were very close friends, our partnering styles were totally different.
Yeah.
So, a lot of it was for me, I like it when my guy leads me, which in my case with Brandon, who's now my designated partner, he does a lot of the leading.
Yeah.
In your case, I think at that time too, you were still learning and getting a grasp on it, whereas I had been doing it for a little bit. So I think being on the same page really is important for a performance, especially when you're doing a pas de deux. And I think that's what makes it pas de deux so difficult, that side of things that people don't realize. Right. I think I've snapped at you a couple times in classes.
I recall moments.
So, I mean, I think pas de deux is just one of those things that if you have the right partner, you can do anything.
Right.
But if you don't have the right partner, you have to almost work out your differences to be able to reach that point where you can, do it to the best of both of your abilities.
Right.
And so, I mean, I think that just comes with time too, though. So, and you haven't been doing it for too long, so.
No, but I definitely feel a lot different, a lot stronger, and I could take on the world if I wanted to.
Yeah. So, I've heard some traineeships are 2 years. Is the Orlando Ballet 2 years as well?
I mean, there have been multiple cases where I feel a trainee has stronger their technique is too strong for just simply training, and they feel like they should go on to OB2. Mm-hmm. And I never like to toot my own horn, and I'm always trying to be as modest as I can be, but I feel that I am better suited for OB2 currently.
Yeah.
Just considering the level of dancers, what they're doing, what I'm ready for, I feel confident for that. I know based on your ability. Yeah, and I've been told by maybe company dancers and other OB2s and other trainees even that I'm ready for that.
You got it.
And I feel like a trust from my teachers as well.
Yeah.
But that's besides what we're getting to eventually.
OB2 is Orlando Ballet's second company. So a lot of times, especially big ballet companies, I find, have second companies. So Kansas City has their second company. Oregon Ballet has their second company. American Ballet Theater has their second company. I think it's really only in America, though, that you find the second companies.
Yeah,
other places.
Dutch National Ballet has their junior company.
Oh, okay.
And there are also a couple like young ensembles, they would call it necessarily.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. They call it something different, but I never really understood the language of it. I mean, I don't know what that says about me as a ballet dancer.
Definitely more common here, though.
Yeah, definitely more common here. So, would you, if you were offered, to go to OB2, would you take it, or would you try and do something else?
Well, my current goals are to do something else. Mm-hmm. But I actually just had a conference with the directors of the traineeship OB2, and they said that they would be delighted to offer me a contract for OB2 next year.
Oh wow!
Or even more if I worked really hard. But the point is, they want me back. So I feel that if nothing else goes right, God forbid, I go back and I'll be happy.
And that's a good option. I mean, that's not.
Yeah,
that's not just a backup. That's a very solid backup.
And I with the security of fellow broomheads, I can be given opportunities to many other places because there's many connections, and he told me himself that he wouldn't hesitate.
Write you a recommendation.
Right.
That's a huge blessing to have that and be able to just have somebody that would say, I'm willing to write you a recommendation, especially when it's not for their company. So,
right. Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. So congratulations on that. So, what are some of the places that you're wanting to go as that have good, dance conservatories? Like, what are you exploring right now?
Well, currently my two main options are Juilliard in New York and UNCSA, which is the University
Okay.
of North Carolina School of the Arts,
Okay.
where many amazing dancers.
What's your pull there? Because they're performing arts schools typically. I mean, I find a lot of people, especially at our level, where we're wanting to get into companies or whatnot. Based on those dreams, a lot of us would take different approaches to it. So, what is the pull towards more conservatory performing art type education?
Well, I feel that reputation as a student really truly doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Often it's purely what they see in you at the moment, and I find myself like on that track of being strong enough, and that's where my goal to be in a professional company, and I feel like I can achieve that even this year. But the pull towards conservatories is simply just trying to be more than that. People, I mean, and I can say that I'm not deterred by thinking about rehearsals and company classes every day, but
because that's just a part of the life.
Yeah, of course, and I would be happy and love to do that. But I feel that I've had a lot of stress, even just with Orlando, with this whole process, and I feel like, next year, this coming year, I won't necessarily be much older, so I feel like when you're so young, I always want more, and I want all of what I can get from a situation I'm in now, and whatever else I can get.
And there's an ambition.
Yeah, and I think continuing just simply my education is very important to me, and I would learn different styles of dance, and in Juilliard anyway.
Yeah.
Just be exposed to more, and everything, all of dance goes hand in hand. And I think I would feel very strong just to get that modern dance influence into my ballet technique, because keeping my ballet technique strong is very important, and I would always make sure that's a priority first and foremost. But yeah, I feel it's important for me. It's important to just keep learning and growing, and even as a professional dancer, to continue to strive to be better than yourself, as paraphrasing Barishnikov's quote. But even one of my idols, Rudolf Nureyev, I always admired the way he worked in terms of, even as a professional at the top of his technique, he traveled to Denmark to learn Bournonville style in classes, and just that striving to just being stronger and stronger to be a better artist than you were the day before. I think that's really inspirational.
I think having that other areas of dance influence is really important, especially in the day and age that we're in ballet. When I had done my interview with Mr. Pegler, who was one of our main ballet teachers, we had talked about how ballet has evolved into something more. And so you've seen, especially the Royal Ballet, I follow closely with the Royal Ballet just because I think they're a very influential company, but they also have some of the most world-renowned choreographers.
Right.
Christopher Wheeldon. A lot of his new works are just amazing. But I've started, when they do their live streams of, even the rehearsals and stuff like that, their new spin-offs on, Manon and Meyerling and, which are very sensual ballets, or even The Winter's Tale, which is super emotional and dramatic and all of that.
Right.
Christopher Wheeldon really does that well. But something I did notice was the contemporary feel to the movement. It's not just a classical position like Swan Lake. It's, where you're in attitude, with a back bend and, the arms are a little bit more flowy or something. It's not just that. It's the whole body moving in a totally new way. in the form of ballet, but with a twist with
Right.
modern, contemporary, even a hip hop feel, you know, in some
I,
ways.
and I think that the dancers nowadays, the real stars, have influence from all sorts of dance,
Yeah.
and they have that strength to be given whatever choreography and perform it to the best of their ability,
Yeah.
and which is, you know, astounding when you see it.
Yeah.
And I think it's, you know, life is, if you think about it clearly, like, life is too short to be just doing
Yeah.
one thing, you know? Everyone wants everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think the performing arts program, do you think you might also go into a bit of acting education as well for the ballets that you would have to do? Because I did notice that in schools is sometimes they'll offer a bit of acting and they'll bring
Right.
in guest people to help you figure out how to channel your characters. But I think that's also something that can be missing in dance education when you're coming into, you know, our level as, you know, pre-professionals.
Right.
Because I find that something that I'm really missing is the ability to connect with a character. Because like this year I'm doing Gamzati, kind of a hard character to relate to, a very hard character to portray because there's a bit of betrayal, like especially in this variation, which is the temple destruction variation. You have betrayal from being cheated on, you have anger from, you know, that whole situation, you have, but then also you're getting married, so then there's this slight happiness, and
Yeah.
it's like really strange to try and fit very different
Struggle.
emotions into one character. And it's, you know, because you're only doing a variation, for instance, I'm doing it for YAGP, you're only doing it for a certain, you know, you're doing one variation, you don't get to see the character development over the story, so you have to automatically be there
Right.
in that character. So do you think that's something that you will want to pursue?
Yeah. Yes. I believe that, well, dance is so much more than the movement.
Yeah.
And depth in whatever you do is sort of the cornerstone of being an artist.
Yeah.
And, you know, a real avant-garde person.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I always search for meaning and depth in my dance.
Mhm.
And whatever I do, whatever I perform, and even in classes, that's always something that's important.
Yeah.
And that's what the best dancers, professional dancers, that they show often.
Yeah. And that's something like I've been watching like some of the big ballerinas and, you know, male dancers is their ability to act out a character
Right.
in so many different forms and variations of it is like really amazing. And it's like, how do you get to, you know, it's not just living life. It's, you know, sometimes you have never experienced something in your life like that. So you have to channel your ability to act.
Right, yeah.
And I feel like that's something that's a part of performance quality that I think a lot of students are missing.
Yeah.
So I think that's like really cool that you wanted to go more further into your education for dance and for the art of it and not just necessarily for dance itself.
Yeah.
So that's really amazing. What are some of your dream companies that you're, you know, post education, where are where are you aiming to go?
Yeah.
Which could always change. But.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, in Juilliard, they have a the rate of people leaving is very small
Yeah.
because it's so hard to get in.
Yeah.
Why would you want to leave after
Yeah.
a year?
There you go.
So, you know, so I would, if I were with Juilliard, I would plan to try to stay the full 4 years if nothing else happens. The NCSA has a lot of connections with the dean of the dance, Susan Jaffe.
Oh, wow.
Who's Prince Levy. So, you know, there are a lot of opportunities to come from that. But as far as companies that I would like to join, I think San Francisco Ballet is a big one. I love San Francisco Ballet. Companies in Europe, companies in Germany, there's Bavarian State Opera, Berlin State Opera, Dresden Semperoper. There's a company in Spain that's really great, Compañía Nacional de Danza de España, and Well, as far as a contemporary company goes, the NDT, Netherlands Dance Theater.
Okay,
Really
okay, so
great.
you are considering going into a contemporary dance company.
Possibly. I mean, especially through a connection like Juilliard, that's high on the resume, and Head National Ballet, Dutch National Ballet. And there must be others. So.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing that you're going after that. And, you know, as your friend, I'm super proud of you. But also as somebody that gets to sponsor you and be a part of this journey, I'm so excited for you. And I'm so excited to see where you go.
I'm excited.
You know, I've been hoping for this, you know, since I met you, you know, and seen your drive and see what, you know, you want to do. And, you know, you're amazing. You're going after it. So I'm so excited to see where you go and, you know, where you end up. And that's going to be really fun.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So that concludes our episode of The Artist Life. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've missed our other episodes of The Artist Life and of Point of View, the playlists will be linked down below. If you want to support Gabriel in his journey in going to ballet conservatories, fulfilling his dreams, all of that, you can visit lifeonpoint.org/partner. We are selling Pointe shoes on our website that are hand painted and hand embroidered by collaborating artists that are local to Los Angeles, Tehachapi, and Bakersfield. So we're so excited to be collaborating with them. These are used recycled Pointe shoes that have been cleaned up and made into something even more beautiful than they were before. So if you would like to purchase a pair, you can click on partner. If you would like to donate to the GoFundMe program as well, we are raising $400 for him to be able to go to a ballet conservatory, something to put towards that college fund. So you can also donate there, and there will be a link to that on our partner page. So thank you guys again so much for watching. Go support Gabriel. He is an amazing, amazing person. You can learn more about him on our sponsee page, and you can get to know Gabriel and as our representative for the 2019 sponsorship program. So thank you so much for watching again. Check the description box down below for more information, and we will see you guys in our next video. Bye!